Justin Gaethje is a monster. He's a monster. He's a terrifying individual. In a sport that's violent, he stands out as the most violent.
He has unbelievable power. When you let him go, he just destroys everything in his path.
Justin Gaethje last fight. It was like when I go to the cage, this guy, he hit like truck, like nobody hit harder.
What is the secret of the most violent fighter in the most violent sport? How did Mr. Highlight become the baddest motherfucker? And how did he change from chaotic to high IQ elite fighter? Today we'll find out everything about the hardest hitter of the lightweight division, dive into his UFC career, and take a closer look on how he improved from battle to battle, from a chaotic start to a now elite fighter. In 2017, Justin Gaethje made a memorable UFC debut against Michael Johnson, a top boxer in the division. Known for his entertaining, Gaethje's fights were always a pleasure to watch, despite some gaps in his fight IQ. During his debut, he nearly faced a knockout from Johnson's brutal lead hook in the first round, but was saved by the bell. The second round saw Gaethje surviving another powerful hit, a left cross from Johnson. However, Gaethje turned the tables with a brutal uppercut, eventually overcoming Johnson with a series of strikes and a final knee, securing an impressive victory against the 5th-ranked opponent. In Justin Gaethje's second UFC fight, he faced a serious challenge in Dustin Poirier, another top-level boxer in the division. Known for his striking skills, Gaethje came into the fight with a plan. He focused on low kicks, a smart move against a southpaw like Poirier, making each hit doubly effective. This strategy visibly damaged Poirier's leg, but it wasn't enough to secure a win. Despite leading in the fight, even after a point was deducted from him, Gaethje's approach had its pitfalls. Driven by a desire to excite the crowd, he stuck to the same combinations and aggressive style, which eventually led to fatigue. As the fight progressed, his repeated low kicks without variation became predictable. Poirier, with his excellent timing and fight IQ, waited for the right moment to counter. Early in the 4th round, he seized the opportunity, countering Gaethje's low kick with a sharp left cross, leading to a TKO and ending the fight in his favor. In his match with Eddie Alvarez, Gaethje showed he was before the round ended. In the early part of his career, Gaethje demonstrated exceptional skills, but lacked strategic wisdom and fight IQ. But how he became a high IQ fighter? Here's the answer. The turning point came with the influence of his coach, Trevor Wittman, renowned in both boxing and MMA. Wittman, who also coaches former UFC champions like Kamaru Usman and Rose Namajunas, emphasizes mastering basic techniques at the highest level. A key focus was the jab, often seen as a simple punch, but with perfect timing, becomes a formidable weapon. Both Usman and Gaethje have used the jab effectively in title fights and significant battles. Gaethje's evolution into an elite fighter began notably in his match against Tony Ferguson, where the lessons were put into full effect. When Justin Gaethje replaced Khabib to fight Tony Ferguson, the odds seemed against Ferguson's streak and UFC career. This victory marked a significant shift in Gaethje's approach, under the guidance of his coach Trevor Wittman's resilience. After his triumph over Ferguson, Gaethje faced defeats against Khabib Nurmagomedov and Charles Oliveira. These losses weren't due to poor performance, but rather the exceptional ground skills of his opponents. Both Khabib and Charles acknowledged Gaethje's prowess. Khabib considered his fight with Justin one of his toughest, and Justin had moments where he almost finished Charles.
Justin Gaethje last fight. It was like when I go to the cage, this guy, he hit like truck, like nobody hit harder than Justin Gaethje. His kick, his punch, his left hook, right hook.
These fights further cemented Gaethje's reputation and earned him respect from these champion fighters. Justin Gaethje's latest fight against Rafael Fiziev showed a remarkable comeback. Fiziev, a skilled Muay Thai fighter, was winning at first, but Gaethje, with his coach Trevor Wittman's advice, turned things around using a simple but powerful technique, the jab. This not only stopped Fiziev's moves, but also badly damaged his face. In this fight, Gaethje showed a new level of calm and smart fighting, proving he's truly a top fighter. After numerous exhilarating battles, Justin Gaethje, known as the Highlight, is gearing up for another potentially epic showdown at UFC 300. His opponent, none other than Max Holloway, dubbed the best boxer of the UFC. This match isn't just another fight, it's a defense of Gaethje's BMF title, a badge of honor he claimed in his rematch with Dustin Poirier. In that fight, Gaethje not only avenged his previous loss, but also showcased his evolved skills to capture the symbolic title. Looking at Holloway, he's a formidable opponent, a featherweight legend who has stood tall in many tough fights and is yet to be knocked down.
And he was down when he fought in Denver. I don't know who he fought, but he was at our gym working out and he needed a ride home. I told him, I was like, I'll give you a ride home. And ever since that day, man, he was just so cool. And yeah, we've had kind of clicked since then.
However, Gaethje brings a unique threat to the table. With arguably the most destructive low kicks in his division and tremendous punching power, Gaethje could potentially be the first to knock down or even knock out Holloway. Holloway's resilience is undeniable, but Gaethje's lethal strikes pose a significant challenge, especially considering Holloway's history of absorbing substantial hits in his fights. Should Gaethje successfully defend his BMF title against Holloway, the future looks bright and challenging. There's the possibility of a fight for the undisputed lightweight belt against the current champion, Islam Makhachev. This potential matchup would offer Gaethje an opportunity to demonstrate his growth as a fighter and test his striking prowess against Makhachev's renowned Dagestani wrestling. While you're here, and while Gaethje is waiting for his title shots, make sure to check out the story of the greatest fighter of all time, Jon Jones, on our channel.